Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Adamola Bookman Injury Time. My name's Al Bond and I'm with my co-host Johnny Coughlin. Hi Johnny.
It's early where you are, is it?
Is it evident through my voice? It's a little bit thick. As I was saying, it was the first ever non-coffee Adamola Bookman for me.
So you're without performance-enhancing substances is what you're telling me, Al.
I mean, that was a segue that revealed itself halfway through my sentence, and then I tried to thwart you. Yes, Johnny, I have not had any performance-enhancing drugs for this particular episode.
And that is relevant. Why?
Oh, dear God, yes. I just woke up. Yes, Adamola Bookman Injury Time podcast. We are doing the footballer drug ban draft.
La rincorsa da parte di Mutu ed è gol! Rete di Mutu! Subito! 2 minuti, 50 secondi! Spettacoloso gol! Che spettacolo!
Only players who have received drug bans are applicable for selection and will be taking turns in selecting a player, and then at the end of the podcast we'll be running the results through Johnny's supercomputer and finding out who has the best drug ban five-a-side.
The Lance Armstrong Cup.
Yes, indeed. Although, Johnny, I feel that we might have approached this differently. Here's some words that don't interest me. Nandrolone. Anabolic steroid. Don't care. When I'm looking at drugs, I'm looking at party drugs, baby. Oh, yes.
There's a couple of things that we should litigate now, maybe. First of all, what's the rule on appeals?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. One of my midfielder was successfully cleared his name through appeals.
Yes, I have a feeling it might be my midfield.
Quite a high-profile player. Yeah, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah, me too. And just one other question. I hope it doesn't reveal my intent too much. But what about players who are banned because they failed to show up for drug tests?
I guess we're going to accept it. This is a broad church. We accept all sort of drug bans.
One more. What about players who, and this seems unusually common, what about players who mistakenly took their wife's medication?
There's been some awful mistakes with wife's medication, isn't there? Really, like, you reapply your wife's vaginal cream to the wrong place, you could be in trouble, buddy. It's very dangerous.
Do you generally pop pills into your mouth that are just lying around the bathroom at home or whatever? Yeah, nice little blue one there. I wonder what that does. Is that something that people do?
See, that's the difference between you and me, Johnny. I want to experiment with life. Live it. You shy away from it, fearing it. Oh, maybe this vaginal cream will cause me to fail a drugs test. Not me, Johnny. Live.
I'm going to ask you a question now. A little quiz for you. When do you think was the first ever football doping ban? And who do you think it was?
I'm going to go early 80s and I don't know. Rennie Higuita is always Rennie Higuita.
The first one was 1973, but it was not for performance enhancing elements. And I'm going to give you a clue because he's come up in a previous injury time. This particular player was once prosecuted for forging golden coins.
Oh, it's what's his face? He was like the Messi and Ronaldo in the criminal one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, was that Peter Storey?
Yes, very good. Okay, so
what drug did he take when he got banned for?
So yeah, he was suspended for drug-related misconduct, but it was for off-field issues and somehow related to him trying to smuggle pornography, which is just in brackets there, right? And then, so when do you think was the first performance-enhancing drug ban?
All right, well, I'm going to go back to the early 80s, Johnny.
Incorrect. You should have stuck in the 70s. It was 1977 when Scottish international Willie Johnston tested positive for a banned stimulant during the 1978 FIFA World Cup in Argentina. He was sent home in disgrace after testing positive for phencamphamine, A stimulant found in a cold remedy.
The first ever drug cheat was Scottish.
There you go.
Make of that what you will, listeners.
Okay, let's flip this damn coin now.
Gladiators, ready!
Alrighty, I've got a silver quarter here, Johnny. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It's tails.
Oh,
I'm glad you weren't witness to that coin toss because it was unconvincing, but I promise that was the answer.
I want VAR on that coin toss.
Okie dokie. All right then. Well, I'm going to pick a midfielder for my first choice. This is a man we know a lot about, argued to be the greatest coach of all time. Yes, folks, Pep Guardiola had a drug ban in the early 2000s whilst playing for Brescia. Pep Guardiola. This isn't the one you were talking about, Johnny.
No, and I'm just astonished that this is your first pick. You're just too excited for outing Pep Guardiola for his drug use.
I know, and I've sort of ruined my whole thing here because you got me worried because I was going to not choose the performance-enhancing drugs, and now I have because you got me rattled with Pep. Well, here it is. I've got Pep.
Yeah, tell me about it. What do you do?
Yeah, performance-enhancing. Nandrolone was found after a Brescia game. When he was playing for Brescia, he received a 4-month ban, but I've got to say, he kept fighting.
Yeah, it was overturned. He was acquitted of all charges. So that was in 2001 he got the ban, and it wasn't overturned until 2009. The wheels of justice move slowly in Italy, don't they?
No kidding. And yeah, you can see that Pep was very, very adamant that he did have his name cleared.
He strikes me as a calm individual, Pep. I can't imagine it ever got on his nerves.
He was just on his knees in his bedroom, like pounding the ground. Why? Poor Pep.
Okay, Pep, let's move on quickly before you change your mind. I'll go for Maradona.
Our old friend, Maradona.
No questions this time.
Did Maradona take drugs, Johnny? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Would you like to hear his rap sheet?
Yes, I would.
He had multiple drug-related incidents during his career. In 1991, while playing for Napoli, he tested positive for cocaine and received a 15-month ban from the sport. Later, during the 1994 World Cup in the United States, Maradona tested positive for ephedrine, a banned stimulant. He was expelled from the tournament, ending his international career in disgrace. Maradona later admitted to his long struggles with addiction.
He might have admitted them, but I don't think he ever really conquered them, did he?
No.
Poor old boy.
Okay, well, that's a interesting start.
Yeah, you played me there, Johnny. Played me like a fiddle. You got in my head right from the get-go, and now I'm facing an uphill battle. I mean, who can I possibly pick now to... You need to pick a really bad player for me to get back into it. Okay, well...
Well, you know, I have one. I have a really bad player, and I'll keep that in my back pocket for now. Go ahead.
Oh, but I've got a really bad player too. He's my heart pick. He's my first drug ban, a really bad player. All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm going for. He's a bit of a forgotten drug fiend. He's old Mark Bosnich. I'm going for a goalkeeper. I'm getting Mark Bosnich in. Now, this is a proper drug ban. He got a 9 months ban for cocaine. He said at his worst, he was doing 10 grams a day. He almost shot at his father with an air rifle because he was in a paranoid state one night when his dad came in.
What is it with footballers and air rifles? Gaza, Asprilla, Maradona.
I mean, I guess it's better than the alternative, isn't it?
I guess if it was America, it might be different.
Yeah, all these stories wouldn't have that funny thing. Oh, do you remember that time Maradona killed 3 journalists outside his home?
Okay.
Yeah, old Mark Bosnich really was a mess. And just as an aside, he was on an Australian sports talk show. It was called Bill and Boz, the most Australian thing I've ever heard in my life. What should we call this show? Well, he's called Bill, and Mark Bosnich is called Boz. Bill and Boz. Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't go for Billo.
Smoke out, Billo. Time out. Come on, let's go out. They love an O, don't they, Australians?
They love
Absolutely
an O.
love it. You know, when I did my smoko, luncho, luncho. Get in the car, what? Yeah, lovely. All right, so there you go. There's no way Maradona's beating Mark Bosnich. No way.
Okay, well, I really feel like this feels unfair, but I'm going to go for Edgar Davids.
Edgar Davids. He was a good player, wasn't he, Johnny?
Yeah, he was quite good, and he was suspended for 4 months for nandrolone use in 2001. But he says it was contamination. But the ban stood, Al.
Yeah, poor old Edgar Davids. I'll tell you what, I think people forget. I remember at the 98 World Cup, I honestly think he was the best player there. I mean, I know Zidane got all the flowers, but Edgar Davids was absolutely immense at that World Cup. I think he's kind of a low-key forgotten player. I know he's a big name, but I think we forget how good he was. In that role, ball-winning midfielder, Edgar Davids was just unparalleled.
But magic feet as well. That's the thing about Davids. If you took in N'Golo Kante, who's like an absolutely wonderful footballer, but just gave him like feet like, like not exactly Messi, but you know what I'm getting at. Davids had real skill, like.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Yes. Yeah, he did. All right, well, that's a fearsome opponent for my pretty limp team so far.
You should go for another goalkeeper, maybe.
No, I'm going to secure my defeat. Up front, Chris Armstrong. This is my first. Just, I don't know. This.
How early is it there?
9:30. Right. Now, Chris Armstrong. Back in the day, Forest got relegated, and in the first time of asking, the early 90s, we went back up under the stewardship of Frank Clark. Quite a famous Forest team, but we didn't win the championship. We came second to Crystal Palace, and Stanley Collymore wasn't the leading scorer in the championship. It was Chris Armstrong, and he was so fearsome, so terrifying. And I was so pleased to see him get a drug ban for smoking weed the following year. But he was a good player, Chris Armstrong. And I think if he didn't have that reputation, he actually could have gone on to achieve a lot more. But I must confess that is a very personal pick. It was just the very first time I was conscious of a player getting a drug ban, and certainly for something as innocuous as smoking weed.
Yeah, he was great championship manager in the early days, Chris Armstrong.
Well, that's what I mean. I think he really was a good player, and he did sort of go off a bit off the rails, and he could have actually been better than he was. But yeah, a relatively forgotten man. But maybe not staff in Tesco's in London who were assaulted by him in 2021. He was also charged with possession of weed and ecstasy in 2016. So there's a man who likes to party.
Oh, wow. Go on. I have 3 players remaining. Okay, I'm going to go for a good one, and then I will... Okay, I'm not going to go for Rio because he's the one who was banned for failing to show up for a drugs test. He didn't actually fail a drugs test. So, given that this seems to be a bit of a cakewalk, I'm going to go for Stam.
Yeah, okay, fine. So I've got Stam written down here, and in brackets, I've written boring. So carry on with your Stam. I mean, you'll obviously win. You're obviously going to win this draft, but I do have written in brackets boring. Yeah, Stam. It always seemed to me, Johnny, that Fergie knew what was coming. It always, when he got sold, it was so out of the blue, wasn't it? It was genuinely astonishing when he sold Stam, because we thought he was the best centre-back in the league, right?
Oh yeah, it was very abrupt, and there were other abrupt exits, Beckham, Van Nistelrooy, Keane, but Stam's always seemed the least explained or something. That thing about the book never seemed very convincing to me.
Well, I think Van Nistelrooy was possibly past his peak when he left. Keane was certainly past his peak. Beckham was definitely going to go, but Stam was the one that really came out of the blue and shocked me. And then when he had that drug ban, less than 6-7 months later, I was like, Fergie knew. Fergie knew.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Investigator Al, doesn't matter what time of the morning it is. So he was banned in 2001 for boring use of anabolic steroid nandrolone. He was playing for Lazio. Okay, Al, go ahead.
I think sometimes, just referring back to what I just said, though, we sort of grant Alex Ferguson this sort of prescience that he didn't actually have. You know, with the benefit of time, Alex Ferguson has become this godlike figure who knew all.
Delphi,
He never did anything wrong. But what was his win rate? I think you asked me once. Like 61%, 39% of the time he wasn't winning. But yeah, nowadays he's just seen as this we've forgotten what an arsehole he was as well, right? I mean, that's how bloody awful he was. All right, Johnny.
I think you mentioned what an asshole Ferguson was every 3 or 4 episodes. You see it as your role.
Must never be forgotten, Johnny. Must never be forgotten.
Yeah, you're like the guys in All the President's Men or something. You've got this zeal, this one mission to make sure that everyone remembers what a bollocks Ferguson was.
I'm doing it for my dad, who was always offended by him. Always. All right. Okie dokie. Adrian Mutu. Let's have another striker. Adrian Mutu, proper party boy, Romanian crazy man. He was an incredible player, signed by, what's his face, the Tinker Man. That's the kiddie. Bombed out by Mourinho, but ordered to pay back the cost of his contract to Chelsea after failing a drugs test for cocaine.
17 million.
17 million. It's wild.
Yeah.
And that was upheld. And honestly, I dug into it and I couldn't see if Chelsea had actually received their money, but that was reaffirmed that he took it to appeal and he lost his appeal. Yeah. And I think he spent the rest of his life paying Chelsea back, which must be fucking galling as they spunk some money away on some nobody. Well, watching that. And I ask you this, Johnny, with that precedent, how fucked is Mikhailo Mudryk? I mean, he must be. He cost 80 million. I mean, what's he going to be doing? His family's going to be paying off his debts 4 generations down the line to fucking Arsenal. I mean, I assume that's not happening, but yeah, what an incredible thing that was, and what a particularly Chelsea move.
Well, it does seem scarier to be owing money to Abramovich than it does to Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley probably doesn't even fucking know.
No, you're quite right. It just seems so hypocritical. If a football club was capable of snorting coke, Chelsea would be the biggest coke addict, right? I mean, Chelsea are the most cocaine team, I think, of any of them.
What are the qualities of Chelsea that make them the cocaine team, do you think?
Brash and fucking obnoxious, overly confident, overly aware of their status in the game. We're one of the biggest teams in the world. You're really not. You're not. You've got bugger all supporters. Yeah. Oh, I like this, Johnny. I mean, my sleep-deprived brain has come up with a winner there. Chelsea, a coke snorting football team.
Okay, what would be the weed football team?
Well, after yesterday's fucking performance, Forest. Who would be the weed football team? That's Norwich. Norwich.
Why? Because they're colours.
I don't know. I just got that vibe, man. I'm just going on vibes, baby. They can't be a high-achieving team, can they? A weed, a smoking team Birmingham City.
They're a bit too gritty, I think. Maybe Norwich is a good one.
Yeah, Birmingham City's speed. Nasty speed. Yeah, very nice. All right, lovely. Yeah, it's sad for Adrian Mutu because he said he only took the enormous amounts of cocaine he took to improve his sexual performance. Oh.
Well, Romania has the smallest penises in Europe. That's a fact. Do you know which country is second?
Don't give me these things, Johnny. This is how I get myself in trouble. What's second? Scotland?
Closer to my home.
Good old Ireland, eh? You're in Romania.
Take that, Romania.
Well, they don't have your charming accent, so Johnny, to make up for it, do they?
Anyway, okay, I've only 2 players to go. And I'm going to go for my goalkeeper first because I'm going to keep my little reveal, my little equaliser until the end. And like I said, there's good options for goalkeeper, including the current Manchester United #1. But let's face it, nobody wants that guy in goal. So
you don't need a drug test to see if he's on a drug, do you? Like, just fucking watch him. Watch him doing it. What are you doing, lad?
So I'm going to go for, because this is a fun one, and he will take free kicks. Who am I going for? My free kick taking goalkeeper.
Oh, it's what's his face? Paraguay.
Yes, it is. Yes. Go on. Nearly there.
I mean, like, arguably what's his name? Chiliver. There he is.
With
what
his
a legend
tiny
of
feet.
a man.
Tiny feet, he said. That was the secret to taking his free kicks. His tiny feet. So in 2003, legendary Paraguayan goalkeeper Jose Luis Chilavert tested positive for cocaine while playing for Penarol in Uruguay. 3-month ban. He denied the charges and claimed it was a political and professional setup. I know.
Ooh.
Okay, that's my goalkeeper.
Okay, Chilivert, all right. I didn't realise he had a drug ban. And fun fact, Stuart Pearce only has size 5 feet as well. Maybe it is advantageous. You can really find that sweet spot.
Well, as somebody who's got clownishly large feet, I would recommend smaller feet for football.
Doesn't go with the Irish stereotype, does it? Your big feet there, Johnny. All right, here we go. I'm going to redress the balance a little bit, get a little bit of Stardust in, and I'm not picking a defender. Fuck off, defenders. I'm going to lose anyway. Up front, Claudio Canigia. Yeah.
Ooh,
sexy. Nice 13th month ban in 1993 for cocaine. Come on. Lovely. He played for some of the world's great teams, but it says here in this article that Canigia did manage to get his career back on track with stints at Rangers and Dundee. I'd say you didn't get your career back on track, Claudio Canigia, with your stint at fucking Dundee. Come on, son. Like, was it worth it? Was it worth? There he is. Like, I'm Claudio Canigia, world famous. Now then, here's your deal with the devil. You can do cocaine and you can continue to be a footballer, but you will be playing for Dundee, or you don't take cocaine and you can play for some of the world's super clubs. Canigia chose wrong.
I have a question for you, though. I believe it's actually an urban myth. But who would you have said was the most famous ever player to play for? Let's say the most famous ever person to play for Dundee.
Well, you've caught me on the hop here, Johnny, so I'm going to reassert Claudio Canigia. Is it Claudio Canigia, the answer that you're looking for?
No, there is a long-standing urban myth that Rod Stewart played for Dundee, but it's not true.
Oh. Oh, is that right? Rod
Yeah.
Stewart's a character, isn't he?
Yeah, it actually seemed like it's kind of fitting that he would have that kind of wrinkle to him. You know, he's a Celtic fan, and he is a big football fan, but he never played for Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, folks, if you've never watched him on the YouTube clip where he's assisting the head of the Scottish FA to pick out the balls for the Scottish FA Cup draw, just give it 2 minutes. Just give it 2 minutes of your time. Like, Rod Stewart does look like a lot of fun. It's funny when you hear Rod Stewart talk, right? Because you don't hear him talk very often. And then it's like, oh, you're a massive Cockney. You just go about trading on being Scottish, but you're absolutely from London. It's so outrageous. I don't know how he's allowed to get away with it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, me, mate, I just love fucking Ireland. Look at me. Well, I love it. I mean, I do, but I wouldn't make it my whole fucking USP. Don't know how I got to Ireland there. But yeah, anyway, Wales, fucking, I love Cardiff. I love it. I love fucking Cardiff City. Love them so much. It's just peculiar choice. But go on then. So my last choice is Rod Stewart. What?
Well, my choice is probably in the same ballpark in terms of football ability. And this is just because this was the most interesting of all of the players I've seen who've received drug bans. This man, I'll give you a little intro, a few little teasers. He played one time in Serie A for Perugia. Do you want to hazard a guess at who it is?
Oh, Perugia. Perugia really was a team back in the 90s, right? They made all the weird signings. No, I don't know who it is, Johnny. Tell me.
Okay, well, he was banned in 2003 after making his debut, and he tested positive for the anabolic steroid nandrolone. And I want you to stop me when you figure out who this is, okay?
Okay, yep.
After leaving football, he took on senior roles in Libya's military and faced accusations related to protest suppression in 2011. He fled to Niger in 2011 and was extradited back to Libya in 2014, where he was acquitted of murder charges in 2018. But he remained imprisoned despite reports of mistreatment. And he was eventually released from prison in September 2021 and is reported to have moved to Turkey. And that player was?
Mark Noble.
Al-Saidi Gaddafi. The son...
You're evening it up. Cheers, Johnny. Good for you. Go on.
The son of... What's the other Gaddafi's name?
Colonel.
Muammar. The son of Muammar Gaddafi. Okay. So the question really is, can my 4 players beat your 5?
Well, one of those players is Maradona. Very good, Johnny, and very unlike you to choose a player good for the pod and not for your winning. So that's growth on your part, and I'm proud of you. All right, so here we go. I mean, mine is fairly unbalanced, Johnny. Who knows what the supercomputer's going to make of this?
Just to know, you are playing 3 forwards. By the way, just some players that didn't make the grade. There was Rio, as we mentioned, Andrea Nana, Samir Nasri, 6-month ban in 2018 for intravenous treatment that exceeded permissible limit under WADA rules. It was at a wellness treatment in LA. Kolo Toure.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just that, was it? I mean, the whole Samir Nasri thing was absolutely delicious. The tweets, his girlfriend. I mean, it was kind of a wellness thing, but I think the implication was he was having sex with the person who was giving him the injections.
Oh, go on. Come on, Samir.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, that whole Nasri thing, yeah. What a character he is.
Okay, Kolo Toure, who made the common mistake of taking his wife's slimming pills without realizing they contained a prohibited diuretic.
Yeah. Borriello, who was the gentleman who applied his girlfriend's vaginal cream, which caused him to fail for prednisone. Because, I mean, where was he applying it? Just, what was he doing? Where would you think, this might work on this part of my body?
Andrea Nana also took his wife's medication. It's a commonly used masking agent, but also happened to be in his wife's medication. He got 12 months when he was at Ajax, reduced to 9. But okay, let's look at these teams. Team Al, in goal, Mark Bosnich. In defence, nobody. In midfield, Pep Guardiola. And up front, Chris Armstrong, Adrian Mutu, and Claudio Caniggia.
I'm just going to push Armstrong back. He's not going to like it, but there you go. You're just going to do a bit of defending, son.
Team John, a bit more balanced. In goal, Jose Chilavert. In defence, Yap Stam. In midfield, Edgar Davids, and I threw Gaddafi in there because I don't really know where he plays. And up front, Diego Maradona. So, what do you think? Give me a score prediction.
I'd say Gaddafi was probably a right winger, wouldn't you?
Hey.
Oh, yeah. The old Gaddafi does level it a little bit, doesn't he? Still think you'll win. 4-3 to you. Let's see.
8-6, Team John.
8-6.
Yes, indeed.
How did Chris Armstrong get on?
Goals from Maradona, Mutu, Yap Stam, surprises everyone. Caniggia, Edgar Davids bullies Guardiola off the ball and scores with a thunderous strike.
And of course
Mutu again, Maradona again, magical footwork. Wrong foot's Bosnich, despite you saying that Maradona would never beat Bosnich. You obviously got in his head. Davids, Caniggia, Chilavert makes the long throw to Maradona, who volleys home. Yeah. Chris Armstrong taps in after a brilliant Guardiola nutmeg to make it 7-6, but then Davids completes his hat-trick smashing home from distance. Man of the match, Diego Maradona with 3 goals and 2 assists. Big surprise. No mention of Gaddafi, imagine.
Oh, who'd have thunk? He was just sat there looking angry. Well, there you go. Another convincing victory for you, Johnny, in the draft. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Al. So we're back next week with...
The 3 Lives of a Kaiser, the story of Franz Beckenbauer.
Oh, very nice, Al. Okay. And thank you very much, Al.
Yeah. No thanks to fucking Chris Armstrong, my sweet love. All right. Well, thanks very much, Johnny, and we'll see you next week.
Okay. Thanks, Al.
He's having a nice time of it down that left flank. Good cross. Armstrong, great header. Chris Armstrong, he buried one with his head against Oldham, and he's done it at Goodison Park.